So I've tried developing some websites before. Doesn't matter whether you have used any frameworks like React, Vue, Angular. It can be also basic HTML, CSS. Let me see how many of you have some experience or done less. I have tried but not using any React or Tailwind. Okay, no problem. Today you can learn. Wow, you have tried Next.js. Good. Only Bootstrap and AJX. Never mind. It's a good thing. Okay. So how many of you have ever tried developing React.js? Let me create a poll. Try developing site using React. Okay, come on, vote. Let's see. How many of you have tried before? Okay, looks like majority of you have not ever tried developing using React. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. Okay, because today's class is basically for beginners. All right. Sorry, I'm a bit not feeling well today, but I'll try my best to give my best to you. All right. Is my voice clear and is my internet is not break? Is my internet is clear as well? Sorry. Is my voice is clear? I worried my internet is lagging. All right. If let's say my internet is lagging or you are not clear, you can stop me anytime. Okay. And feel free to ask question. Even you can feel free to unmute yourself. I believe everyone can unmute. Huh? All right. Unmute if you have any questions, or you can also ask in this chat. Okay, that's wasting our time. Let's begin. Let me briefly introduce myself. Okay, is my screen is clear? Is it visible? Okay, nice. All right, let me briefly introduce myself. All right, so my name is Kani Selvan. I'm actually a software engineer or developer. All right, so I've actually have more than 4 years of experience in developing websites and mobile apps. All right, so I'm proficient in full stack development, especially in React.js. Okay, and previously I have some few years of experience in Android. All right, so I'm currently working in ADE Asia. All right, previously I have working experience in banks and software houses. All right, so I'm also a part-time mentor, tutor, and also like a robotics coding teacher. All right, because I'm passionate about teaching. So today, what we gonna do is gonna set up this project and also about the routes in React and we will start developing some components. Okay, because we have like three classes for development and the final one is the Merdeka competition. All right. So I believe everyone knows about this. So let's begin on on setting up the project. So first, okay, before I begin the class, uh, may I know how many of you have downloaded Node.js npm? You can like my if you have downloaded. You can thumbs up if you have downloaded. If not, you can thumbs down. Okay, then Visual Studio Code or any other editor. Okay, then you also need. Okay, I think installing the React should be fine. We can do it together because okay, I believe most of you are done. All right. So I'll briefly show you on how to set up the React itself. Okay, instead of wasting our time on downloading the Node.js and Visual Studio Code. Okay, so let me share my screen, entire screen. All right. So, okay, I want to open a new window. Okay. All right. So let's create a folder. So let me open new folder. Let me name this as corporate website. Okay, I'm creating a folder. Then, okay, so this is the folder that we're gonna use for our class. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to download React. So there are two methods of downloading this React. All right. So let me go through the document. So I believe everyone knows. Okay. So basically, there are two methods of downloading this React, which is the CRA and also the uh, with. Okay. Those are the environment. Let me check whether they have, where is the, oh my God, they have updated. Usually, I don't refer to this. I will directly go to Vite because the environment that I use is React Vite. So you can check here. Okay, this is the Vite document. So basically, there are two methods, which is CRA and also Vite environment for the React development. But I personally prefer Vite.js. Even I think most of the companies are also using React Vite right nowadays because of this uh, performance and all that. All right, so let's download using this React Week. So to get getting started, okay. So we need to install using this npm. Okay, you can save it here. Npm create with latest. Okay, this my view app is your project name. You can remove this. Okay, this should be your project name. So let's say this is uh a company corporate website. It is my project name. And since we are using React, we can put template as React. All right. So now you can see we have the boilerplate. All right. So then we can follow this, copy this whole thing, then paste. So React with is really fast and it's very easy to set up as well. So that is why we usually recommend to use React White. But still, CRA has its own pros and cons. So depends on individual and the team. All right. So I've already started my local environment. So this is our React bit. So basically our React is ready, but still in our project, we're gonna use few other stacks like Tailwind CSS. And then even for Tailwind now we have a flow bit. You can flow bit. Okay, I'll be using this flow bit as well. So let's set it up. Okay, before I further continue, let me ask. Okay, let me ask. Who knows what is Tailwind CSS? What's the purpose of Tailwind CSS? Come on, share your answer in the chat. Okay. If anyone want to unmute and share your answers, feel free to do so. Okay, few of you are typing, so I'm waiting for the answers. Okay, what is Tailwind CSS basically? for styling, for UI. Yes, correct. All right. So basically, for styling, for UI purposes, it makes our life much more easier. All right. Rather than doing everything from scratch, they have already it's some components and so on, so we can directly use them and then modify it according to our designs. All right. So let me continue. So let me delete this whole thing, this React. So you can see that in this React, this node module is we got this node module from npm. Okay, then we have this public. This is source. Okay, the source folder is the most important one. All right, this is where we put all our images assets. Okay, and then we have this app, then index css. Okay, this is the global css. Then this is main. Okay, this is where we launch our website. Okay, like index. Okay, so basically, usually how we set up these folders, there are many methods. Okay, so usually we set up, we have assets, then we can have components. All right, then we can also have pages. Okay, no worries. These are usually, this is one of the way we can set it up, but it's good to, we can also have layouts. Okay, asset is for basically for images, icons, and so on. So let me, okay, images can have subfolders. All right. Then component is basically like a buttons and like small component in the website. For example, you see, uh maybe we can go for some, okay, let's say go to caps. Hmm. Okay, we can see that we can make a lot of components from this website itself. We can see this is like this card is like one component, and maybe maybe we can, what do you call that? And you can see that there are tags. These tags are like one component. Okay, so and then we and then you can create a layout. Layout is like, like we have these cards, and then inside this card you want to have like this name and this price and all that, so that we develop all these, that because the purpose of using React is to create, we should have a lot of reusable components so that we can reduce redundant codes, repetitive codes. Okay, that's the primary purpose of using React.js, use to develop reusable components. So to make it clear, components are like a smaller versions, and layouts like you gather few components together, okay, to form one layouts. All right, then you can reuse it. Right, pages is basically like the page lah. For example, this is like home page, promotion page, menus, and all that. Okay, inside this we have layouts, we have components. Okay, so when you develop it in such way, like these reusable components, layouts, and all that, it's very easy to manage later. So let's say we have this but let's say we have this card. Okay, you can see that in this card, all this card has this border, round like a curved border, right? Okay, so let's say one day the design team has decided that to make it square shape. Okay, if let's say if it's not in component or layout form, then you need to change for each and every cuts. Let's say if you have a component or a layout, it's very easy. You can directly go to the component and layout and just change that at one place, and it will be reflected in all other places. So later on we will be seeing all these examples. Okay, so we are done with React. Let's move to our Tailwind CSS. So you can directly go to this Tailwind CSS, okay, and then you can check the documentation on how to download for React. Okay, but you can also see in this Tailwinds. Since we are using Flowbit React, so you can go to their document and then you can see how to develop it. So first set up Tailwind CSS. Okay, download this, copy, then make sure you have changed to this project. Okay, you have already entered this. So let's wait, it's downloading. Okay, I made a mistake. Oh, sorry. I have not changed this. I told you, but I didn't do that. So, one second, huh? I haven't changed to this. CD change directory to corporate. So, okay, now install. Just now it got installed outside this project. So that is why it will be hard to access. So you should actually download it inside this project folder. Okay. So why it's downloading it here? I wonder why it's downloading it here. Okay, let me try. Supposed to be, it should be inside. Okay, never mind. Let's continue. Then we will have this tailwind config. Oh, okay. I understand why. Because we haven't set up this tailwind CSS. Sorry, yeah. Last time we were using this. Now they have already this documentation. And it's been a while since I used Tailwind because nowadays we are in our office we are using module CSS. But actually Tailwind CSS is better if you're like in a small team and all that. Okay, let's go to this quick start. Sorry, go to Tailwind CSS, download the Tailwind CSS first, then go to this flow by, then you can download it. This is done. We already set up React. So now we set up this Tailwind CSS. Okay, once you downloaded this, you need to set up this file. So once you download, okay. Once you downloaded this Tailwind CSS, you'll get this, what do you call that? Tailwind.config.js. Over here, you need to paste this content, just the content. Okay. Then go to index CSS, index CSS, copy or delete, paste it. Okay. So you can read all the descriptions here. Then we can check whether it's working or not. Before that, let me delete this. This is outside our project, so we don't need. Okay. So now we can run our, it's already running, so it should be fine. Okay, you can see after we cleared all the CSS and so on, it has changed. Okay, now let's change this app. Basically, this layout is here in this file, app.jsx. This is the main file. This is where it launches. Okay, over here we can see we have this file. Okay, this is where it is. UI UX code. So we can remove. all. Okay, you can remove the state. You can remove these logos. Okay. And we don't require CSS since we are using Tailwind CSS. You can delete it. I can remove these. All right. So now we have an example to test. Okay, let's go. Okay, this is basically Tailwind CSS. Okay, Tailwind CSS is an inline CSS. All right. So now let's see. Yeah, it's here. So let's try by changing the color. Okay, maybe we try to remove this font bold. Oh, let me check. Thing is okay. All right. Let's move to flow byte. So now we should install it now because they have mentioned that install Tailwind CSS by official installation guide. So we are done. Now we should do this. Just now I skipped this step. Sorry. Okay. And now we can see whether you have successfully installed your dependencies. You can go to this package.json. All right. So you can see your dependencies here. I can also go here and check your dependencies. All right. So we have so far downloaded this flow bit, React DOM, and React. Right. So we have successfully downloaded. Now we need to add this line. You can see they have highlighted these three lines. So we need to add this into our Tailwind config.js file, which is here. All right. So we can remove these. Okay. Basically, you can just copy paste these things. All right. Copy these. Then you can then copy this here inside plugin. All right. And let's try it out. This button. Where is okay? Let's check whether it's working. We have a button, but let me get a different one. Uh, okay, let me get different buttons. Okay, try with blue. Okay, something is not working. We check whether everything is set up properly. Okay, config. Let me get this. This is okay. This is done. All right. So now let's refresh. I wonder what happened. Let me check. Let me rerun. Okay. So this is the button. All right. So the flow beat is ready. So what? Okay. What is corporate website? Corporate website is, as I mentioned earlier, it's a website for, it's like a portfolio or profile for uh, corporates, or even if you have a small company, everyone will be finding out, right, what this company is about and so on. So we usually search in Google and get into their profile. So this is one of the website that I have done for one of my client. So you can see that it's a very simple website. Those early days I developed it. So you can see, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna develop something like this, but not exactly the same one, a simple version, because we only have like 3 days, right? So, and I have to explain as well. So I can't develop all the features. Maybe we can develop one or two parts. Okay, maybe we can try with home, about the products if possible, then contact. Okay, for this content, we will develop the UI. Okay, and if we have enough time, then I will try to integrate with a library called email.js, where when they fill up these forms, they can submit to the email. If we have time, we will do that feature as well. Okay. All right. So far, is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Any questions to us? Hello, sorry. Hello. Ah, yeah. What is it? Yeah, I'm actually recording this. Yes, I'm recording. If I'm too fast, you can stop me, no problem. You can ask me to repeat or anything. Okay? No worries. Because we have limited time, so I'll try to cover as much as I can. Okay? All right. So first, let's set up some pages. Okay, where is our, okay, this is our project. Let's set up some pages. Okay, so let me have home.jsx. Okay, then we have, you can say about dot .jsx. Then you can have contact.jsx. Okay, so usually you can type this and then enter any HTML. You can actually call this, right? I download RFT. You have this shortcut. I think I didn't install it. Okay, okay. I didn't install in this laptop. All right, no problem. We can just copy this. See it here. Then make sure you change. I will usually use constant. Okay, then this should be, oh, all right. So can we call it as home base? Okay, you can call it here. Make sure you import it. Okay, make sure you import it properly. Then let's check. Okay, so it's receivable. All right, let's do for the next one. For about copy this. Right. Then we should call this here. Check what's going on. About is not. Oh, okay, we haven't imported it. Pages. Well, okay, we can do the same thing for contact. So basically, this is all like a reusable components, you know. So we have component, the smallest version, then we have layouts, then pages, then we finally render everything through this app. So we call this app at this main file. Even you can actually import everything over here itself. Okay, that's fine, but I'll recommend you to do it in a separate file, easier for you to maintain. Okay, so let's test it's working or not. That's not, oh, okay, because you haven't set up this contact. Home is not defined. Why? Okay, you can check about, about, oh, okay. All right, so everything is here. All right, so now next is we're gonna learn about routes. Okay, so routes is basically like this, like home, and about. Okay, then we should be able to access these pages. All right, so for that we will be using React, what do you call that? React route DOM. So basically we'll be using this React router. All right, so let me check on how to download this. You can always check in their documentation on how to download and all their latest updates. So to download it, let me check as the beta. Open wood. Okay, then all right. So you should copy this, download it. So we are downloading another library, which is React Router DOM for route purpose. So you can see their examples here, where we first we need to import all this. All right, then we can copy paste this as well. Then later on, we call this router here. So we need to set up this. So basically, we need to set it up here, over here. All right. So let's wait whether it's downloaded. Yes, it's downloaded. So let me go to some. All right. So let me copy this, paste it here. Okay, then we can copy this. This is how we do. We follow the documentation. All right. So we can say instead of calling this, we can call this page itself. So maybe we can call this home. So home. Okay. So you have called it properly. All right. Then we can Okay, for temporary, I comment this. Right, 1 second. Okay, so let me check. Uh, okay, let's say we put this as home. Okay, then sorry, this is a file for this home. So see, we able to access home. So basically, is here that is home. I put it as this is home. All right. So we are the right page. So we can also put this here. Next one is we can also add more, which is contact. So let me contact. We need about. Okay, about. So when we call this pad, then what you should render is this so element is this file, which is about. Okay. So let's say if I'm calling picture, it's contact. Okay, let me check what's the error. About is not defined. Okay. Make sure you import it properly. Yeah. Sometimes you can just click and check whether it's imported properly. All right. Okay, so you can see. So when we change the route, say we click at home, you can see. Then we're accessing those files, maybe about. So, okay. So this is how you can set the routes. All right. You can also set it is the default one, which is home. Okay. So this will become the home page. This is one of the method of routing when it to navigate between pages. All right. Any questions on these routes? This error element is that if it's failed to display this element, then it will display this error page. We can also develop this error page. All right. So, any questions on this? Right. So you can go. You can have a look more. You can look for more examples here. All right. So now let's move to. If you have no questions, then I'll move to the next part, which is uh, developing the navigation bar and some components. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? No. Let's wait. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. Before that, let me ask you. Uh, Before that, let me ask something. Okay, tak apa, tak apa. Right, ethics. share screen. All right. So let's change this title. Currently, it is Vite plus React, right? So let's change to corporate website. Or we can have a name for this website. What name you like to have? Could you suggest a name? What name you like to suggest for our website today? Maybe Clino Corp. Okay, lah, Clino Corp. Okay, so let's find it. Okay, where you can change this title is, you can come over here and then you can see V plus React. Okay, so you can remove this Clino Corp, and we don't need this icon. So now you can see that we have this Clino Corp. All right. So now let's develop a nav bar. So the advantage of using this flow bit is they already have ready mates. So you can just use it and then modify it lah. All right. So I'm gonna use this first one. All right. So you can see this example. You can copy this. Then okay. Before that, let's yeah, I'm gonna put this into layouts. So bar.jsx. Okay. All right. Bar. Okay. This is basically this use state is uh it's actually like a variable state. Okay, you can use the later. For now, copy this import. Okay, because we're gonna use all these components. We'll be using all these components here. So that is why we need it. I think someone is unmute. I can hear some wind voice. Okay, let's check. Okay, I want to import this nefpa. And call it, call it. Okay, so I want to import inside this app. Nefpa. Then you should import it and check whether you have imported properly. Then what's the error or the link? You can remove this link for now. Already been oh, okay. Instead of it, we can call it as navigation bar or sidebar top. Okay, we name it, rename it as top bar. Okay, or else we have some confusion with this component name. Bar. So then we need to change. right. Okay. Think some issues. Top bar counts. Why it's still calling it as F bar. Since we are using now top bar here. Oh, okay. Rename this to top bar. Okay, so now I think should be fine. Let's check. Okay, then why there's an error? But value is never used. Okay, let's check. What's the issue here? 46 is top bar. Link is not defined. Where is the link? Okay. All right. So we got the navigation bar. But however, we like to add for like some spacing, right? So what we can do is class name, we can have padding. So we can have P, then we can choose area. So for example, if let's say we choose, so you know padding, right? So you can see the space is increasing. This is how we use Tailwind CSS. So you can see, if, let's say if you just want padding on the right hand side, you can just put PR, then maybe 10, check. Sorry, PX is for this to the side, PY is to top, bottom. So you can check all this here. You can check in the documents and you can learn some of it. Once again, where is the sizing? Let me check. It will be here. I'm looking for the documentation where they have mentioned all the sizes. So let me check where they have put it. So these are the color codes. Then they have another one. Okay, now so basically, in even in Tailwind we have it. Basically, I want to show all these uh, PY, PT. Okay, so we can learn some of the CSS. But however, for now, you just put it as P10. All right. So we don't need this logo, so we can remove it. Okay, we can remove this navigation bar brand and not this whole thing. But actually, I just want to remove this image. All right. So we want to change our company name to Krino. Krino. All right, it is changed. So I'm just showing you some examples. All right. So for example, you can use link to navigate to certain pages. For example, import link from React router to. Okay, then we can actually we can call this home. Wait, what's going on? Okay, this is not needed. Okay, we can call this as um we can't use this. So usually we can, instead of using this, we can just use link, then to home, then we can call this as do. So you see here, when I click this home, you can see that this is navigated to this home page. That is why I use this link. Okay, so it'll be easy to navigate. So you can add another one, link to about, for example, then F about. So you go to the home page. So when I click about, it moves to about page. So we can do the same thing for the contact. Right. So this is done. All right. Okay, let's say if you want to have like a button, okay, next to the contact. Okay, we can import a button. Okay, for example, you can see there's a button. We call it here. Okay, so we can import button. Since we already import here, so we can just add to this button. Then you call the buttons that you like to have. So maybe I want to have the green one. So I can call this. So I can say, um, let's call it as, what do you call that? Mm, contact us. Simply, okay. Contact us. So you have the button. Okay, but it's not well organized here. We need to play around with this tailwind later. But roughly, do you get my idea on how to like create a layout, component, then on how to import? Okay, any questions on that? No worries. We will develop all these pages, layouts in detail in next class. But today is our primary focus on setting up and testing it out on how to develop components and so on. So any other questions? So you can look for more here, a lot more. So try this. You can try one by one. Instead of this, you can comment, then you can add this, change to see. All right. So later on, we can need to play around with the table in CSS to adjust it. All right. So maybe you can try another component, maybe another like already have buttons. Then others, maybe we can try like okay, maybe we can have a cut. Okay, now we have one issue here. Okay, the issue is we can only view this navigation bar in this page, but when let's say if we go to the home, we can't view this navigation bar. So how to make it visible in all pages? So instead of calling this top bar in this app, we should actually include it. Actually, we should include it here. So let me try. We should include it at the main. It's supposed to be inside. Side here. And hot top bar. Okay. We should actually include it in the parent so that it will stay. All right. Second, it's not needed. And we can call this okay. About instead of doing this, we can actually put it here. All right. Okay. So we can also do home. Here you call this. So we can have it here. So I can call this component again in the other page. Stop bar. All right, so we can test it out. Okay, I know why. Right, so all right, this is because we are calling all this component here. Let's say go home. Okay, so let's say we go to contact. So this is how you can call your components. So basically, like we need it in all page. We need this navigation bar in all pages. Okay, that's why in this app, if let's say you want to have like one single page, like the one I showed you just now, this is the one single page. Okay, if you want it to have in one single page, then you can use this method. All right. If let's say you want to have like separate files, like when I click this, it'll move to another page. Okay, this is moving to another page, right? Let's check what happened. Okay, this home is working. Contact, why? Contact, what happened to this contact? Layout, okay. Oh, okay. Just keep adding. All right. Looks so quiet. Any questions? Any question, class? Okay, anything that you feel like you need more explanation? Kitori is basically we are focusing on the setting up. All right, so I believe that you know right how to set up this Node JS npm. Okay, let me type Node JS npm, which is the package manager. All right, then we have Visual Studio Code, which is the editor. Then we need Vue- Vue.js as development environment. Okay, then we learn on how to set up Tailwind CSS. Okay, so next week, I mean, in next class, we'll be developing some proper layouts and so on. Okay, and when we developing all those layouts, you can actually learn more about Tailwind CSS. Okay, and then on how to like setting up properly all the layouts and components. And we also learn about okay, Flowbit. This Flowbit is actually on top of is built on top of Tailwind. So basically like a library for Tailwind CSS. All right. So we are already done with the setting up. Okay. If no questions, then we can end the class today here. All right. In next class, we'll be developing a proper corporate website with the home, uh, about us, and contact, and so on. All right. So